Hi, I'm Nancy Eisman, and I'm a therapist at Healing Hearts of Indy in Indianapolis, Indiana. And this is my cat Bart, who doesn't like to leave me alone when I have the fireplace on, so he may be joining us for a little bit. The title for my video today is Confident Humility. So, okay, there you go, Bart. Okay, so confident humility. So that kind of sounds like an oxymoron, right? I mean, confident and humility in the same phrase. How does that work? Well, that's exactly what I want to discuss. So, I want to start by breaking this down into two halves. So, let's start with the confident part. So, what does it mean to have confidence? I think we can begin by describing the difference between confidence and arrogance. And there is a huge difference, although many times, people use the terms interchangeably or they're maybe confused about the difference. Well, to me, confidence doesn't have anything at all to do with being arrogant. Arrogance is ego. Arrogance is the attitude that I'm all that in a bag of chips. And confidence, on the other hand, is believing in yourself and your abilities, but most importantly, in your worthiness of being loved. Arrogance and ego cannot exist in the presence of humility, but confidence can. Arrogance is about pride, and humility is the opposite of pride. Confidence is a belief that I too can be the recipient of grace. I can attain that radical acceptance of my worthiness of being loved, not because of what I've done, but because I am. Okay, so what if we explain worthiness of being loved like this? Think about a baby who's just been born, and babies are perfectly lovable, right? Well, yeah. Well, why? They haven't done anything good or bad. They just are. They're lovable because they are. They haven't earned or lost any love or worthiness. Yet we love them so very much. The fact that we're worthy of love doesn't change with our age. It doesn't change with our accomplishments. It doesn't change when we screw up. We're still completely lovable just because we are, just like when we were born. We can have confidence in that fact. People who have grown up with a critical or shaming family of origin have a deep belief that they are not good enough. That's called shame. So, when did the belief of that lie, that you're not good enough, begin? Well, usually pretty early on, when we're little kids, and when we quite egotistically take absolutely everything personally. I mean, after all, when we're kids, it's all about me, right? Yeah. Well, we're also at that point not yet emotionally mature. So we carry all of those ideas that we formed when we were egomaniacs and not emotionally mature from our childhood into our adulthood. But is that really true? Are we really not good enough to be loved? Or does it have something to do with our imperfect parents doing the best they can, but not being able to be perfect? Well, we too are not perfect, and that's true. But what I would like to suggest is that we can be both imperfect and perfectly lovable at the same time. That's the heart of confident humility. So, having the confidence that we're worthy of being loved can sometimes feel like arrogance, but it's not if your heart is in the right place. So, confidence is believing a truth about ourselves as a human being. If you spent most of your life as a shameite, as I lovingly refer to those who have the shame, myself included, you have spent that time having forgotten the truth that you are lovable simply because you are. That is actually arrogant. Shame is arrogant. It insinuates a self-importance that is prideful. Confidence that you're lovable, not because of anything you have done, is receiving grace. You cannot earn grace because then, by definition, it's no longer grace. So now here comes the biggie. Okay, so when you have the confidence that you're lovable because you are, and you have it all by yourself, you don't need that from someone else. You don't have to trade to get it from anyone. You don't need anyone to tell you that you're good enough. You don't have to convince anyone. You don't have to earn acceptance from anyone. When you can do that, you become relationally safe, non-manipulative, no trades, no codependency, no over-neediness. You can let others be and do exactly what they choose without trying to change or manipulate them into giving you acceptance. You give it to yourself by believing the truth of your lovability. The test for this is to check your whys, W-H-Y. Why am I thinking this way? Why do I need to talk about how amazing I am? It's completely fine, by the way, to believe in yourself and your abilities. And you are amazing. But when it crosses the line into doing so to make others believe you are lovable, the why is enmeshed with those you are trying to convince, and you become manipulative and relationally unsafe. Okay, so now let's move on to the humility piece. Now that I know that I'm completely lovable just because I am, as a human being, how do I not only protect from having that grow into ego, pride, and arrogance, but also simultaneously acknowledge the fact that I'm not perfect? Humility. So here's what it looks like when you put it all together. I know that I'm lovable for no other reason than I am, but I acknowledge that I am so not perfect, and I will hurt the people I love sometimes. It's inevitable. I cannot be perfect. But when I hurt you, I want you to tell me, because you will be helping me grow in the places where I'm the weakest. You're teaching me to be careful with your feelings. You're connecting with me by telling me what it is like to be you. And I want all of those things. I never want to hurt you. So when I do, tell me so I can learn, grow, and change, and become a better version of myself. So this takes a tremendous amount of courage, making a statement like that, because we have to admit our shadow side and our imperfections and our shortcomings in order to hear someone, and really hear them, say ouch to us. So humility, though, must be balanced as well, the same as confidence. I don't want to become a feather at the mercy of the wind or a boat at the mercy of pounding waves. I'm not going to blindly accept every criticism of me that I hear as the gospel truth either. I'm going to run it through my own truth about myself and see if I can find truth in your point of view too. If I can look at myself humbly and see that maybe you have a good point, I'm going to integrate your feedback. If you tell me something that is just not a part of how I see myself when I look at myself earnestly and humbly, I can still acknowledge your opinion as valid, even if I don't agree. You can still have a different opinion of me, and we may have to agree to disagree about things sometimes, but I can always connect with you and accept your truth for what it is, your truth. I can be sensitive to that, and I can understand you without having to believe and change everything about me to be who you think I should be. And this is where it is just so very important to, as they say in the Matrix movies, know thyself. So to wrap this up, there's a balance to be had here. Confidence that I'm completely lovable for no other reason than I'm a human being. Confidence in my abilities, honestly, and without ego and grandiosity. Humility to know that I'm not perfect and I never will be, and I will hurt the ones I'm closest to from time to time. But when I do, I can apologize and grow and learn, and instead of becoming wounded that they do not see me as good enough, I can run that through my own filter and find the truth that I believe about myself. My confidence gives me the strength to be humble. Isn't that something? It also makes me safe for others to be exactly who they are and not who I need them to be in order to feel okay. Working on this in yourself will send ripples of change throughout every relationship you have and draw others toward you. Well, that's what I have for you today. I wish you the confidence to know that you are loved and the humility to realize that you can be hurtful and that they can both occur at the same time. A difficult concept to grasp sometimes, let alone integrate, but wow, is it worth the effort. You and your relationships will never be the same because of it. If you need some help working through this, please feel free to email me at Nancy, Nancy, at healingheartsofindy.com. Please feel free to like our channel and pass the link on to any friends you think may like to watch. Thanks for stopping by.